So I saw this report yesterday that Comedy Central took an episode of The Office out of its rotation, and I had to look at it because those clickbait sons of bitches got me. And it turns out it was the Diversity Day episode, which of course has one of the greatest scenes in the show where Michael's trying to be culturally inclusive while instead he's actually being very offensive. Once again, it's an IQ test. If you're offended by the episode, you probably just don't understand it. Ricky Gervais, who originally created The Office, says often, people confuse the subject of the joke with the target of the joke, and they're very rarely the same. I think that hits the nail on the head. I mean, this is a perfect example. The subject of the joke might be racial and cultural diversity, but the target of the joke is obviously Michael Scott. And I say obvious here because this is intuitively obvious to the majority of people. It's that small group of ideologues that like to throw a fit on Twitter and ruin everything. Or do they? I should probably clarify something here. A mob of woke assholes didn't get this episode taken off the Comedy Central lineup. People just started noticing that it was being skipped, and pretty soon we got all these articles about it. So yeah, the woke mob is annoying, and there's always going to be these fringe extremists in the world. But to me, Comedy Central's the real problem here. They preemptively omitted an episode because they were afraid it would get them heat. And this is my problem with all these networks and companies. They're always so quick to bring out the lube and bend over. Why cave in to such small voices? Just produce the content you want to produce and stand by it. And this isn't the only time The Office has been subject to this. One scene was cut from the Dwight Christmas episode where a character's wearing blackface. And I don't need to break down every joke here, but the fact that it's offensive and that Dwight is unaware of how offensive it is the joke. Greg Daniels, the showrunner, said, "The Office is about a group of people trying to work together with mutual respect despite the inappropriate actions of their boss and assistant manager. The show employed satire to expose unacceptable behavior and deliver a message of inclusion. Today we cut a shot of an actor wearing blackface that was used to criticize a specific racist European practice. Blackface is unacceptable and making the point so graphically is hurtful and wrong. I am sorry for the pain that was caused." This is such a weird statement to me because the first part of it is him basically explaining the whole joke and the intentions behind the joke, which were good intentions, and then in the last sentence he U-turns hard and says it's unacceptable. That's like if my phone died and I said, "God damn it, you piece of shit," as my wife walks in and she says, "Why did you call me that?" And then I explain, "Oh, no, I was actually just talking about my phone because the battery died. I was frustrated. I wasn't calling you a piece of shit. I was calling the phone battery a piece of shit. Also, I'm sorry I called you a piece of shit." It's like, where's your integrity? It doesn't even make sense. Also, the part where he says, "Making the point so graphically is hurtful." It's such a funny line. It's like, we're sorry we said blackface is wrong. We shouldn't have said it so clearly. The subject of the joke is blackface. That's the point of the joke. You're making fun of people who would do blackface. The Office isn't putting on blatant racist minstrel shows on network television, you dum-dums. By the way, this joke wasn't just cut from Comedy Central. It was cut from all syndication and streaming services, which means there's no way to watch this scene at all since they cut it. And I know, I can whine all day about this, and what's the real issue? Well, here's the real issue. The precedent being set by banning television based on jokes like this is terrible. If these Office episodes are too offensive, then you'll have to start banning a lot of comedy, including It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Arrested Development, South Park, Reno 911, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I mean, that's just a handful. All of these shows tackle the issue of race, and the joke is always at the expense of the racists. But unfortunately, the PC police aren't going to have any kind of nuanced thought about it, and the networks aren't going to have any backbone about it, so we'll probably see a lot of these shows getting the same treatment in the future. If I were you guys, I'd start buying the DVD box sets on eBay, because it's going to be real valuable contraband by 2030.